Okay, good afternoon or good morning. I just wanted to start off by saying this is a really good opportunity for us this week, for Ryan and I, to evaluate these prospects, get a chance to talk to them one-on-one. We're certainly excited about the opportunity that we have. We got a ton of resources available to us. So the next 58 days before the draft, and then we got free agency going. And the guys been really doing a good job with the coaches, in the morning doing the football, and then in the afternoon we're totally, committed to doing the scouting with Ryan and his staff, and we spend the entire afternoon doing that. The first part of that was obviously evaluating the free agents, which we did, and then now we're working into the college guys. So we're excited about getting that started, and we had that started for about a week or so now. But what a great opportunity for the Bears organization. Yeah, just from last year, this is year 2, so we got a year under our belt. The process, of the evaluation, us coming together on that, and coming to a good decision, and that's what we did last year. We feel really good about our draft class last year. I know we didn't have the resources that we have this year in free agency, so that's another big piece of it. But that's what gives me confidence. No, that's a good question. Yeah, it isn't. It isn't for everybody, and that comes down to the number one thing: the love of football. So they have to love the game, and how do they show that? It's what they show on tape. We're going to evaluate the number first. It doesn't matter if it's free agency or draft. We evaluate that, and the passion that they have, the competes that they have on the field, is the most important thing. And then we got to figure out culturally, does he fit, as a person, as a teammate, and all those things. But number one, he's got to have love for the game. The same exact way. I want the guys to answer the same questions, so that way we're getting comparisons to our guys that are now currently with us, and then guys that we're going to onboard soon.
Now with the draft prospects, obviously they're all going to tell you they love football. They're going to try to say the right thing.
Yeah.
Can you learn anything in these interviews about that?
Yeah, I think that's really more about compatibility. Are they good teammates? And then you find out what their intelligence is off of the field. I think that's a big part of it, and their fit. Do they fit? Like I said, everything really is about the tape for us. 80% of it is that, because you have to have that to get your foot in the door.
Our roster is so wide open this offseason. We don't know where you're going to have. Are you able to plan much of what you'd like to see the team do next season?
That's a good question, and we have to really wait a little bit. We can evaluate what we did last year, but obviously when you get pieces to the puzzle and start fitting them in free agency first and then draft, certainly that's going to adjust throughout the offseason. And we're excited about doing that. We have a lot of good coaches. They do a great job of adjusting, and we're excited about getting that done.
Coach, are you ready to commit to Justin for the season?
What's that?
Are you ready to commit to Justin for the season?
Yeah, like we said, we're just in the process of evaluation of everything right now. So, Justin had a really good year last year. We're excited where his progress is. And just like everybody else, he's working to improve his game as we are as a football team. Yeah.
I know Montgomery said he agreed. What do you guys, regardless of Montgomery, what do you guys think about Montgomery? Is he got any care?
Yeah, Herbert's had a really good year for us, and he's had a couple, productive years for us here at the Bears, and he's an exciting player to watch. He can hit the home run. That's what's exciting about him, and he's got stuff he's got to work on too. Being more of a viable option out of the backfield and all those things that we all talk about. But he's an exciting player to watch. Yeah, I do. For the first year in the system, I think he's on the right track. And again, he's just got to make small improvements and adjustments to his game, and he's going to do that.
Do you have enough there to project? Do you have enough body of work now with him to project?
Yeah, that's speculation, I think, a little bit. So I just think that we'll just let it build on where it is, and then him just keep building step by step. Right. Yeah, some of the conversations that we've had and we've talked about, obviously at the end of last year was really just to, take what the defense gives you. I know that's coach talk, but that's really what he needs to do. He's he's obviously a tremendous athlete and can do a lot of different things. But if we call a design run, sure, you can run it there. But third down and situations like that, critical situations in the red zone, certainly do it there. But when it's first and second down, early in the game, let's just take what the defense gives you and then move on. Yeah, I just think right now all options are open. All options are open for us. We have tremendous flexibility because we have that number one pick, because we have all that revenue inside of that free agency. So I think that right now we leave everything open and look at all options. As you said, yeah, I would just say the ability to turn the corner. Most when guys start their rush and they get their approach, when they get to the move area, the ones that can't get there, they start working away from the quarterback. The ones that do have everything pointing their hips, their toes, their knees, everything towards the quarterback, and they have the ability to work their move around the edge. And then when they get past the quarterback, they have strength to be able to work back inside. So those are the things that we look at. And, obviously you got to have great athleticism, and also the great get off also helps too. But those are the things we look at.
Especially at the top of the draft, whether you guys end up picking first or whatever it's how involved would you be in pro days and all those other things?
Yeah, just like free agency, I think I evaluated over 60 guys in free agency, wrote reports on every one of them. So I'm going to do the same thing in the draft. I want to get in there and know the players, look at their tape, study their season, and have a good understanding. And then when Ryan and I have conversations, we're going to be on the same page when we pick.
Along those same lines, not all coaches come here to the combine. Why is it so important?
Yeah, I just think it's the process of it. To make good decisions, you got to have information. And when you have good information, and you're eye to eye meeting with somebody, to me, it's, when we all went through the COVID with the Zoom and all that stuff, it's not the same as doing what we're doing right now. So I think it's important to be here, and this is a big year for us.
Matt, Ryan talked about the due diligence of the quarterback prospects. What do you hope to gain specifically from those meetings with those players?
Yeah, just to get to know them. Get to see their leadership skills, how they are as a teammate, their FBI, their functional intelligence right there in the meeting, to see how they think on their feet during that 20 minutes that we get with them during this process. But, yeah, that's what we want to do. We really want to work these guys and see where they are.
When you talk about the areas of need, do you have a priority list of something you personally prefer the most?
Yeah, everything right now is wide open, so we have to go through free agency first and see what we get there. And then just, we're hoping to take the best player available at that point. But we'll see how it goes through free agency. Yeah. I saw a group that was well coached. That's what I saw. I thought Chris Morgan did a heck of a job coaching those guys. He's one heck of a coach. That's what I saw first. And I saw a lot of guys that came together. We had that exit meeting with the players after the season, and man, they raved about the room. So I think having some veteran presence in there was really good. And brought the guys together, the younger guys, and they were a tight-knit group. And of course, in the process of it, they got to pass protect better and all those types of things. But I do think that in the running game, the way Luke and Simo designed the runs, we had a lot of yards before contact. I thought that was really good, and our runners really bought into the system as well as the receivers blocking on the perimeter. Yeah. They're different pieces, right? You got a bigger guy inside that's a little bit closer to the quarterback, and then the guy on the edge that's a little bit more athletic, a little bit more range, a little bit more length. So, it's both are good. I wouldn't weigh one or the other right now at that point. I'm just keeping all options open. Every spot taken. Yeah, I would say that we're in the same boat as last year. I think it's really, once we figure out what pieces we have, let's put people in the position to be successful, and let's coach them up and let them win the job. Let them go ahead and compete for the job. And of course, obviously you draft a guy first in the draft, he's going to be in there playing and all those types of things. But we want to keep it competitive as possible. Can you say that again? Yeah, that's one of the options, right? You know, you can stay there right at one and pick. You know, if you got a great player that you like, and or you can trade back. You know, as far as you need to. You know, to get as many picks as you want. And those are all the options that Ryan and I are looking at right now. And he's a very busy man this week, talking to the agents and all that stuff. But we'll figure that out as we go. We got 58 days or so, but we'll figure that out.
Such a battle of attrition now as the season goes on. Outside of the luck element, what's kind of the philosophy in terms of injury avoidance and waiting on that?
I would just say that you know, when you look at the off season, you know, guys are going to be working themselves, you know, because a lot of guys take a couple weeks off, you know, and then they work themselves, you know, into getting into shape where they need to get to before the off season program, and then working in the OTAs. And our guys do a good job with that. Our performance team is really good at you know, injury avoidance, like during the season, and also for the guys during the off season. So we're happy where that is.
Matt, as far as the wide receivers go, how did you evaluate that group? What do you think that maybe had?
Yeah, we're always trying to add playmakers at all positions. You know, we want to do that for sure. So that's no different than the receiver position. The one thing that was great about, you know, the receiver position is that they really bought into the blocking piece of it. But obviously, as we know, that as a receiver, you got to be a playmaker. You know, we saw it in the playoffs. We saw it in the Super Bowl. Those guys were making plays at critical moments, and that's what we need. You know, so if we can add a critical piece like that during the course of the draft, we're certainly going to do that. Yeah, it's big. It's really big, and you know Eddie's doing good, and learned a lot. You know, Jaquan learned a lot from Eddie, so it's a big piece that we have that continuity. We have some continuity in the secondary, you know, with Jalen and Gordon, and we have some really good pieces back there. And if we know that we, you know, get some guys up front through free agency and the draft, you know, that'll make that job a little bit easier in the back end for sure. I just know that we feel good where he is right now. So we got to let that process go, and we'll evaluate that as we go. Big, long, and fast. I would say that.
When you talk about his philosophy, would you say by the end of the season, because the discipline it takes to finish that through a 17-game season,
Yep.
would you say that went up or down as far as your grades are concerned?
Yeah, I would say it was good. You know, I thought we laid really good foundation, you know, for our hits principle last year. You know, you could see that we were in every game pretty much. You know, obviously we had some really close games against some very good teams, and start adding some talent, okay, and then start coaching them up a little bit better. I guess it's going to change. So we're excited where that principle is. Okay.